Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. This video, I just want to take some time and kind of share my personal thoughts on crypto, why so much of this channel is related to crypto. It's a tech tip channel, but obviously I'm doing a lot with crypto right now. So I kind of want to share what crypto is, what my thoughts are on it, and yeah, what the kind of the future of this I think looks like, and the channel as well. So I think the first thing it's important for me to note with crypto, because there's people on a lot of different sides of this. You've got people who are very much concerned about it. It's a dangerous investment. It's like gambling. Then you get people on the other side that are all in type that. So I think a balance is needed. I see the technology, and I'll get into that where I get excited about it. But it's also, we have to be careful that you don't just throw, throw all your money into this if you're not investing in other places as well. So I think it's important for me to give you kind of where I'm at personally with this. Even though I love crypto, and I'm pushing money into it every day, every month, even taking out some loans for the crypto miners, things like that. I'm always trying to make sure I've got some type of asset that is protecting that. That's why I actually liked mining, because there was at least physical hardware that had some value if this were to fall through, versus just if I put that money into something and it fell out. So about 10% of my net worth is in crypto. That's including my home, any other assets, things like that. So about 10% of all that sits in crypto. A lot of people are sitting, we'll say 2, 3, maybe 5%. So I am probably a little higher on that than a lot of people. Other people, I'm sure, are way more than that. But that gives you an idea where I'm coming from. 10% of my net worth is in crypto. So if it fell apart tomorrow, I'd still be okay. When it comes to investing, like specific investments, so not my home or things like that, but just like buying stocks, my 401k and cryptocurrencies, things like that. About 30% of that currently is in crypto. The other 70% sits in individual stocks, index funds, a 401k, things like that. So I think that's important to note when I'm saying all this, that I'm trying to approach it from a investment opportunity. I want to put enough in because I think there is a future to it, but also playing it safe. So I do agree with a lot of financial people who have concerns about it. They're maybe pushing it that way because they don't want to push somebody in. If you hear the video like, oh, this is going to be 10x in the next year, and you mortgage your house and you put it all in and it falls, I mean, the anxiety that causes is crazy. So be good with it, be safe with it. Make sure you're taking care of your savings, your other investments, and using crypto as you can. As far as when it comes to crypto itself, my main investments are in Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's about 40% Ethereum, 40% Bitcoin, probably maybe a little more, 45% Bitcoin, maybe a little more on that. So for me, Bitcoin is the tried and true. It's been around. Sure, there are new, people are like, could something new come along and replace it? Absolutely. You look at the beginning of like the internet and things like that, AOL, and even before that, I know there was others, but like AOL is the one I remember. And now it's kind of like, that's not a thing anymore. But you keep an eye on stuff. You look for new technology. You look for things that adapt. But what Bitcoin has going for it is the largest computing network in the world. So what you need for something to be valuable as money is for it to have scarcity, which Bitcoin does. The 21 million maximum Bitcoin. So there's a limit. It's not going to just keep overinflating. It should be deflationary. And you have tons of processing power, people supporting it, and that infrastructure. So built infrastructure is a huge piece, and that's something that I think we have to take in mind when you look at a company like Google or Microsoft, and what is their technology, what's their value is the infrastructure that they built on the internet. What's Google's value? Well, a ton of stuff, but one is their search engine, right? So if you see the value in the product, and Bitcoin's product being this financial decentralized system that can work through computers, it doesn't need people. The blockchain technology, the ledger of Bitcoin is decentralized in that sense. So there's value in that. And so I think as people see that and learn that it can be this world adopted currency where people can invest in, because there's not all these other limitations that we have with the current financial systems. So I hold Bitcoin for that reason. Ethereum, as I learn more about that, and I think that's the biggest thing with everything in cryptocurrency is learn about it. If you have bought Ethereum and Bitcoin and you don't even know what it does, you should go research it first. And if you're going to buy the new altcoin, you should read about what its purpose is. What does it do? Because that's where I think when the market falls, like it is currently as I'm recording this, who knows if it'll come, has come back up when this goes live, but you have a lot more confidence when you're like, no, the price might have fell 40%, but I still agree with the technology, the philosophy behind what it is, right? So Ethereum allows for smart contracts that can be, and it works as a currency as well, and it's utilized on so many different parts of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, so NFTs and things like that, to where that token is used to settle a lot of the transactions that are done with other of the altcoin currencies. So a lot of altcoins operate, they do their transaction, and then they resolve down on the Ethereum blockchain network. So as you do more research and you begin to see, okay, where are the foundations of these being built? And Ethereum is one of those to me that's very interesting. And it's interesting to see the idea of a smart contract where me and someone else could agree to certain terms and the system can enforce those terms. It's not I take a loan from my bank, and if I don't pay my bank, then the bank comes after me. No, the smart contract says no, you will pay because that is locked up in the contract itself. So to me, there's a lot of interesting technology behind those networks. And then 10% of what I invest into cryptos and altcoins. I've put a little into some projects here and there, and some of those were ones I didn't actually research as much as I should have, and that's kind of what I've learned over the past year or so is I bought Dogecoin a long time ago, and I sold it because I didn't know what it was, right? And it still kind of doesn't have a huge purpose, but I ended up selling it too soon. And then there was the Shiba token, which I ended up buying when it started going up, and bought at its peak. And so there's been investments where just buying at the wrong times or selling at the wrong times, and that have caused that issue. And so instead of just trying to buy the coin that you think you can get rich on, because it was on a YouTube channel or it's the new greatest thing and you can 10x, 100x your money, some people are going to win, some people are going to lose. A lot of people are going to lose when that happens. So what I'd rather look at is what can I invest into that is, to me, not a gamble. Right? If I'm buying a stock in, say, Microsoft or Google, it's because I'm looking at the company and going, I see what they're doing, and I actually want to invest in that because I acknowledge and I want to be putting my money in that because I want to see that technology grow, and I believe that it will grow. Right? Smart investing is believing in what you're investing in and believing that it's going to be successful. So taking that same philosophy into cryptocurrency of doing the research and finding out what is this token, who's behind it, what is its purpose, its long-term goals, what's its adoption, things like that. And so if I'm going to take a risk in certain places, it's going to be a very small percentage of that small percentage that I'm investing into that. And then the last 10% is things like crypto projects. So that for me is, I think I did a video on it, of like the pre-search token. Setting up a server and buying the pre-tokens that I needed to launch that node. And to me, that was an interesting project. I got the Helium miner. Hopefully in the next couple weeks, maybe a couple months, I'll have a Helium miner. And that project, because the technology that's there is really interesting, and so buying the hardware needed to participate in that network and that project. So that's what's really cool about cryptocurrency overall, is it allows people to invest into projects that they otherwise may not be able to, right? So I use Facebook as an example. None of us were really, maybe, in a tight circle, yes, but, the world wasn't given the opportunity to invest into Facebook before Facebook grew, right? When it went public, sure, you could have bought stocks in the company. You can still buy stocks in it today, but you own a share. You own a share of the company, but you're not necessarily fully invested into the profits and the day-to-day of the company. So I always like to think about, what if there was a crypto decentralized social network, right? Where you had three sets of people. You had the hosters, the server admins, the technical people, that are keeping the platform running. You had the users, and then you had the advertisers, right? In the crypto space, in theory, you could operate that without a centralized business corporation. The tokens would be the governance of the system, and all the people could hold those tokens. So the advertisers, which are paying money in, would buy the tokens into this ecosystem, putting money into it, and converting it into these tokens. And so they have ownership in where their ads are showing, right? The server operators, of course, would get some kind of token fee if an ad is shown and people use the platform. Like there would be money given to them, and the users could also receive that money as well, because as you use the platform, instead of the case of Facebook today where you get to use it for free, but you're the customer, imagine where the advertiser money that's coming in was paid out to the user of the network and to the operators of the network. That to me is what's kind of really interesting about the decentralization of a lot of crypto projects. So when I'm looking at a project, I'm kind of looking at what that is, and the more I learn about all that in general, the more it really seems kind of interesting to me. Of you're owning a token of the system, and that's how it is with Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these. When you purchase the token, you're purchasing a piece of the pie, the piece of the pie that is available. And in a lot of these cases, yes, are the new tokens being created? Yes, but they're being created in a way that is helping the network. So in the case of Bitcoin, new Bitcoins can be mined, yes. And when a new Bitcoin is mined, it slightly reduces the value of all Bitcoins, because some of the money in the pot has to go to fund those new Bitcoins that were mined. But those new Bitcoins that were mined are paid as a reward to the miner. And the miner is also then verifying these transactions across the system. So there's an ecosystem that's created where it's being distributed to those that are doing the work, and the holder of the token gets the benefit from it as well. And that's a big contrast to fiat currency, or like the US dollar, to where you hold a dollar today and your dollar is worth whatever that dollar can purchase you today. But if the government chooses to mint new money, they do so, and they give it to whoever to stimulate the economy, or to pay the banks, or to pay out new money, loans, things like that. But when that happens, your money continues to be devalued. And so in the world of Bitcoin, that happens at a very scheduled and managed rate. And ultimately, we know there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin. So we know that mining rate will slow down, and eventually will cap, which should actually mean that the value of your Bitcoin over time, it's volatile, of course, but over time, it goes up in value. So obviously there's a ton to unpack, and there's a ton better videos than this on what this stuff is. This is just, I wanted to share kind of my thoughts on why I think crypto has a place, the smart contracts, how it's the principles of money. What's really fascinating to me is how it's combining software with the internet and with finance. It's not just a software program, it's something much bigger. The blockchain technology, the ledgers that bring it into the world of finance, so there's trackability, accountability on this decentralized system, but that everybody can be a part of. So to me, it's really interesting technology. That's why I jump into it, because I love actually learning about it, and that's why I put it on this channel. And actually, it was kind of what got me back into posting videos on this channel. I want this channel to always be about tech tips. But to me, crypto is kind of this really cool space where technology bridges into finance. And I think it's a great way, because it was for me personally, where I would have posted a video of me building my latest gaming PC, or the newest motherboard that came out, something like that would have gone on this channel. And now a lot of that technology is wrapped up in other projects, right? So that computer could be used to build a server for software, or it could be used to build a mining rig for cryptocurrency. So that's why I do see it kind of all connecting in here together. And like I said, this channel, I hope that it's kind of an echo of me personally. So the videos that I post are things that I'm interested in, and I'm sure hopefully there are others of you out there that are kind of in that same thing, where you're into technology, you're into learning what the newest thing is, or the review on the latest thing, or just some tips, some advice so we can all learn from each other. I enjoy when you post in the comments and help me out with things, challenge me on things, like some of my earlier crypto mining builds, and I'm sure into the future, that we can be a community that continues to help each other, that we grow together, even if it's through this digital medium. And that's kind of the nature of this world that we're living in, where we have, we are physical beings, but we engage in this digital space. And so finding healthy ways to take the benefits from technology, but also knowing who we are as people. All right, so there you go. There's my view on cryptocurrency and kind of in general why I share what I do. So I hope this video was interesting to you. If this is your first video that you've watched from me, be sure to excuse me, hit subscribe. So you can see more of these videos as I get into tech tips, technology reviews, product reviews, and of course cryptocurrency. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a like. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithms. And leave a comment if any of this resonated with you, or if you have any other thoughts or opinions on all this stuff. I'd love to hear from you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.